Hello guys, welcome to this video. Today I'm going to tell you about how to start out in Python. I will share my experience with you. I'll give you steps you should take while learning Python, resources you can use, and also some bonus strategies you can exercise to make more progress. Starting out in Python might be a little daunting for beginners. This makes most people quit or lose interest. But this video is a guide for beginners who want to learn Python. I'll share my experience with you guys, and I believe it'll help you if you're a beginner to know what path you can take if you want to learn Python. Also, this video is just about Python. I do not include any Python libraries, but if you're interested in seeing that, then subscribe to this channel and leave a comment telling me about your favorite Python libraries. But anyways, let's get into the video. The first thing you need to learn about is print statements. This is one of the basic things you need to know in Python. You also need to familiarize yourself with the syntax of Python and understand how to indent your code. For me, at this point, I learned to use user inputs and variables, which is very important as you can then begin to make some basic programs. At this point, you have gotten a solid foundation in Python, so you can move on to learning about the different data types. You already know about strings, but there are many more data types. So for me, I began with learning about numbers, the different types of numbers, integers, float, and complex numbers, and how to operate them. Next up were lists, the powerful square brackets that can store multiple variables. And I also looked at tuples, which are basically permanent lists, and also dictionaries and sets. Learning about these data types will not only be important for now, but also be important as you learn to write more code and get better in Python. So after that, you need to learn about control flow statements, and these are one of the most important programming concepts in my opinion. Adding this to your programs will make them more functional, and with the tools you have so far, you can start to make some pretty interesting programs. At this point, I moved on to learning about loops, while loops and for loops. Loops are important as you work with lists, but don't let the loops make you dizzy. So by this time, you begin making steady progress. This is the time to discover the function of a function in Python. Bruh. With your own functions, you can customize your code and make the code neater. Functions are very important when learning Python, just like variables. And functions and variables are two very important things you need to know in Python. Now finally, you need to know about classes, object-oriented programming as they call it. This is the last thing to learn basically because it was the most difficult for me as a beginner and to most beginners to understand it. But at the end, I was comfortable with defining and instantiating classes and more comfortable with Python in general. Of course, I left some things out in this video and not everything is included, but this should give you a rough idea of how you should go about learning Python. First and foremost, something that helped me as a beginner was the book Great Hat Python Programming for Hackers and Reverse Engineers. Although it sounds complicated, it's a pretty basic book for starters. There are also other books which I will link in the description below. There will be links to some great YouTube channels in the description whom I feel have great Python tutorials. You can also visit W3 schools. They have good tutorials for many programming languages, so feel free to check them out. All the links will be in the description. But that's it for the main part of the video. Now I'm going to give you a bonus tip. Don't give up. No matter how hard it gets, keep going. Don't be afraid to start again if things are not working. And you can also ask questions on Stack Overflow if you're having problems with something. But that's basically where I am now, and also a quick guide for all beginners out there on how to learn Python. From here, I'll begin to use Python libraries, so stay tuned for that because I'll be uploading videos similar to this one. Well, that's it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe. I know it just started, but I'm trying to hit 100 subscribers before the end of March, so please hit that subscribe button. If you want me to make a similar video but for PHP, then please tell me in the comments. It's another programming language I've been learning, and I feel I can make a video about it. Anyways, have fun, stay happy coding, and I'll see you in the next video.